What's up, Tax and Tech crew? Today we're diving into why LGA1700 still matters in 2025. Whether you're building a new gaming rig, upgrading an old one, or just want to future-proof your current investment, this socket is more than just a CPU holder. This is the real benefits of LGA1700 and why it's still worth your money today. LGA1700 is Intel's mainstream desktop introduced with 12th generation Alder Lake CPUs. It's named after its 1700 contact pins compared to the 1200 contact pins on the previous LGA1200. This physical change was necessary to support a lot of major upgrades. What are these upgrades, you may ask? Well, these upgrades was to support for DDR5 memory and PCIe Gen 5 lanes, and also a new hybrid core architecture with performance and efficiency cores. It launched with the Z690 motherboards and continued to support CPUs up to the 14th generation Raptor Lake refresh. Now that we know what LGA1700 brings to the table, let's see how it stacks up against what came before. LGA1700. Because if you're upgrading or choosing a platform in 2025, knowing the difference could save you hundreds of dollars and a whole lot of frustration. CPUs with a hybrid architecture combining high performance cores with efficient ones, like the i5-13600K. This leads to better multitasking and gaming. LGA1200 CPUs like the i7-10700K or the i9-10900K are traditionally core-only designs. They don't split workload as intelligently. LGA1700 boards support both DDR4 and DDR5, depending on the model. You need to double check your board because you can't mix DDR4 and DDR5. They're physically different. LGA1200 is locked to DDR4 only and PCI Gen 4, which is already becoming outdated for newer graphics cards and NVMe drives. Newer LGA1700 boards are built for higher wattage CPUs like the i7-13700K or the i9-13900K. These require stronger VRMs and better heat sinks compared to that of the older LGA1200 boards. They struggle to cool a 10900K, especially on a budget models. LGA1700 supports 12th to the 14th generation Intel CPUs, and most boards with BIOS updates can handle and will handle all three generations. Meanwhile, LGA1200 is limited to the 10th generation and the 11th generation. And in 2025, it's officially discontinued, so used prices are high and parts are rare to find in it. And it doesn't just make sense to build on a dead platform. Now, you can still find motherboards out there for dirt cheap for $60, but those motherboards are not going to last you. There's a lot of motherboards out there with only 2 RAM slots. That's having 4 RAM slots is just basic necessities at this point in 2025. Definitely as because of how much games are growing in RAM. Now I know you don't need more than 64 gigabytes, but those cheap boards over time can handle high-end CPUs if you had a high-end CPU with your motherboard. And if you try to buy on LGA1200 a high-end motherboard, it will cost you about the price about the same price it will for you just to go to LGA1700. So you might as well just go to the better platform with a way bigger upgrade path. i5-13600K destroys other CPUs like the i7-11700K in modern games. And the 1% lows and the dips that cause stutters are way more smoother on the LGA1700 CPUs. Rendering, editing, streaming, they all benefit from all the higher cores and higher thread counts and the faster DDR5 RAM, or the DDR5 RAM your LGA1700 PC could have. Some say LGA1700 is obsolete, but let's set the record straight. It still supports Intel's 14th gen CPUs. It still get BIOS updates, and in 2025, it is very much still kicking. I'm going to give you a lineup of every tier of CPU that I would recommend you get based off on how you are spending. So for anybody that's on a budget, I would recommend the i5 12400F CPU. For people that's working with a mid-range build, I recommend the i5 13600K. For high-end builders, i7 13700K or the i7 14700K. And if you're making this PC just overkill, you're going to get the i9 13900K. All right, next up is motherboards. Go with the B660 for if you're on a budget. Go with the Z690 or the Z790 for features and overclocking. Just remember, make sure when you're getting these motherboards that you know which memories type of memory you're getting. So make sure you know if you're getting DDR5 or DDR4 memory. Make sure you keep that in mind when looking at LGA1700 motherboards. Alright guys, if this helped you out, drop a like and subscribe and stay locked in with the Tax and Tech crew. Got questions for me? Drop them down in the comment section. I'll respond to literally every single one of them. Talk to you later guys. Peace.